is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. Hopefully you guys had a great holiday season. I know I did. Of course, we are coming up on New Year's, which means the start of 2022. And it's the end of the year, which means I have to do my end of the year videos, which is always a fun thing to do and always gets a lot of people mad at me. But before we get to that, we got something else to talk about, which is a scuttlebutt going on in the wrestling community, which is really stupid, but I figured it was something that was worth talking about because apparently some people don't know too much about it. And that is Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole reforming Undisputed in AEW. And I'll get into what the online controversy is. It's really silly, but what we really need to know if you're new and you just don't know what the backstory is to all of this in this video. But before we get to that, of course, I want to remind you guys that I've always got some free goodies down for you in the description box below. You can get your 2022 started off financially straight by using some of the links I got down below. If you want to get involved in cryptocurrency, which probably right now is a good time, given what the prices are right now, before it goes and shoots up again, and before inflation goes any higher, you might probably want to check out the Coinbase links, the BlockFi links, and the Celsius links down in the description box below. Each one of those can give you a certain amount of free crypto, anywhere from $50 to $250, depending on the service, so check that out. You can also get 2 free stocks from Webull using the affiliate link down below, and 60,000 points, travel points, hotel points, whatever kind of points. The points that I used to go to Vegas for free last month, you can do that by using and signing up for the Chase Sapphire Preferred card in the description box below. Check some of that stuff out, give it a look, and do some investigation of your own, and see if any of that stuff will be beneficial to you. Now let's go into this story. So, as we all know, AEW Dynamite last week had the debut of Kyle O'Reilly as he came in to help Adam Cole in his victory over Orange Cassidy. And they lined up just like they did at NXT, and they did everything except the United Era, Undisputed Era, United Era, whatever, the Undisputed Era symbol. And it looked like they were about to do it, and the Bucks come to the ring, and Cole looks like he's caught between a rock and a hard place there, but we suspect that there might be a little bit more devious plans here from Adam Cole, baby. Now, where the controversy comes from, and I swear to God, you can't make this up. Like, people are really, sometimes, but on social media, there's been a lot of people, I would assume they are people who don't know too much about wrestling outside of a certain company, who thought that AEW was lazily booking by bringing in Undisputed Era and reforming them in AEW. And yeah, it happened. From their perspective, I guess, again, if you're not a wrestling fan and you're just a fan of a particular company, which I will not mention in this video because I don't want to hear it, I'm going to hear it anyway, but if you just watched that one company and you don't watch anything else involved with wrestling, which would be kind of the equivalent of somebody who just watches like Marvel movies but doesn't watch any other movies and thinks that the entire movie industry is just Marvel Studios is, that's a great comparison, then you'd have no idea that there's history, a lot of history with all of these characters involved, and you would probably look at it and go, well, WWE, I said the name, WWE made the Undisputed Era and AEW is just lazily copying it. For those of you who may not know, actually Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly were a tag team known as Red Dragon way before that, and Adam Cole was involved with them in several feuds in Ring of Honor way before they were even in NXT. So technically you can say that NXT and WWE actually copied something from Ring of Honor to a certain extent. But yeah, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole have been tied together in their careers for a very, very long time. They've wrestled with and against each other in Ring of Honor and overseas. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly had a match for the Ring of Honor World Championship at Wrestle Kingdom a few years ago, where that was the first time I remember seeing Adam Cole doing Adam Cole Baby to a bunch of Japanese people who didn't know what the hell he was saying. But this goes back a long, long time. And in addition to that, there's the Being the Elite YouTube channel that Adam Cole was part of when him, the Bucks, and Kenny Omega were all part of Bullet Club. As the story goes, and I think this was around 2016 or 2017, whenever it was, Adam Cole on Being the Elite, which is where they had started writing their own wrestling skits and whatever, they had this kind of weird thing where Adam Cole was being this kind of shady character and he was trying to like subvert Kenny Omega and to some extent the Young Bucks, and then he tried to poison one of them, but it wound up with Omega poisoning Adam Cole with an energy drink, and they wrote him off the show, essentially, kayfabe. Also, in real life, in Ring of Honor, replaced Adam Cole with Marty Scurll. We're not going to talk about Marty right now because nobody is, but that was a whole scenario and a whole backstory, and that's how Adam Cole was written off of being the Elite and kicked out of Bullet Club years and years ago.
Has been storied, but just like all fairy tales, Adam, there has to be a hero, and there has to be a villain. Adam Cole, consider yourself officially fired.
In this very meta way, Adam Cole did go to WWE for 4 years. He did start the Undisputed Era with his old friends and enemies, or frenemies, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and they had Roderick Strong added to the group as well, and they pretty much dominated NXT during the last phase of the Black and Gold era under Triple H. And now that all of them have left NXT and WWE and come over to AEW and reformed, it makes utter sense because if you remember, we just went through the Wednesday Night War where it was AEW versus NXT. And who was held up as the top faction in NXT at the time? It was the Undisputed Era against their old buddies who had just started their own company. And NXT lost. So there's a lot that they can play with the storyline. The old feuds with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, Red Dragon and their on again, off again rivalry with the Young Bucks back in the day, Kenny Omega and that unresolved issues with Adam Cole from kicking him out of Bullet Club and replacing him with Marty Scurll. The fact that the Undisputed Era was the main faction in NXT and they lost in the ratings war against AEW, their own friends. Adam Cole didn't stay with them. He chose to go to WWE and they could do like a traitor angle. There's like 15 different angles they could do with this. So when somebody says online they're just being lazy in booking and they're just doing what WWE did, it is again another sign of like when people are that ignorant, it's just like you don't know really what to say because the ignorance is so profound. But it is funny to an extent to see how self-assured that they are. And I've seen several people point out to these people, it's like, do you know the history and did you ever watch Ring of Honor or New Japan or Being the Elite or any of that stuff? And they would say no. And then the other person would go, well, you don't know the backstory. There's a whole big backstory here. And then instead of conceding and going, oh, okay, I didn't know that, the person would go, no, it's just copying a lazy booking. It's just like, I don't know what is in the water or in the food or in other things that we have been putting into our bodies over the last 10 years, but thinking and logic and just having any kind of a reasonable debate or discussion or disagreement has just gone out the window when you completely are ignorant of a topic, and then and when somebody schools you on what the history was, you still say the same thing. I don't understand it. As far as the actual feud goes along, I think there's a couple ways they can do this. In the timetable, Tony Khan just announced that there's no real timetable right now for Kenny Omega's return. Of course, Omega, who was suffering from multiple injuries and vertigo, is taking time off to get himself healed up. Supposed to be slated for February for him to come back, and it looks like the way they're booking this, that might be the time that he would want to come back, because Adam Cole is going to kind of be screwing over the Young Bucks, and then Kenny can make his big return. Now, I think a backup to that, though, is there is this thing with Adam Page. And Adam Page, they didn't really resolve what happened at the end of Revolution with the Bucks kind of letting Page get the championship. Or maybe that was the resolution. But there's a little story they can tell with that, too. And saying, going to Adam Page and going, look, we're getting decimated by, the Undisputed guys. And we need some backup. And, have Page kind of be back and forth on it and not really know if he wanted to do it. Then have Page come in. I'm fantasy booking that, which you shouldn't do, and Page come in, and then Adam Cole gets elevated to a world title match against Adam Page, the Adam off, I guess. I mean, there's so many ways they can go about it and tell a very interesting and intriguing story. And since half of AEW's audience is aware of all this history, they can inform the other half that doesn't know about it. Kind of the way that the comic book nerds informed all the people who didn't know who Thanos was at the end of Avengers on who Thanos was. Because that's how you spread information and tell storylines using backstory that everybody doesn't know. But those are just my thoughts on it. I want to know what your thoughts on it. Let your voice be heard in the comment box below. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and share this video on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or wherever you talk about sports, entertainment, and pro wrestling. I really want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think the Undisputed, I guess we're just going to call them, they can just drop Era and just call them the Undisputed. If the Undisputed and the Elite feud is something that you're looking forward to, do you think it's lazy booking? Do you think that AEW should just ignore all that stuff and let all those unresolved storylines that half of their audience know just not go on and do just other things with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish? Or do you think this could be one of the best feuds of 2022 coming up? Let your voice be heard in the comment box below. Until then, I'll see you guys for more news, rumors, and commentary here on the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.